Today I'll be doing 3 fantasy, nerdy fantasy books. We'll go with that. So let's start with the first one, Off to Be the Wizard by Scott Meyer. Look at that cover. I don't know how well you see it. Good? So in Off to Be the Wizard, Martin Banks discovers that the world can be manipulated by accessing a code that controls pretty much everything from the tangible to the intangible. He has a lot of fun playing with everything from his height to his location to his bank account, and his little additions to his bank account, while technically not illegal, do attract the attention of some people who would like to put him in jail for a little while, thanks. In order to escape, Martin decides to put himself back in the Middle Ages, where he actually runs across people who are just like him, and he also learns to manage his powers. And of course there's an evil, wizard to defeat as well. Full of geeky, boyish humor. This book is pretty fun, and it has a lot of pop culture references and usually witty dialogue. Unfortunately, there is only one female character in the book, which was kind of disappointing, but the lack of female characters is pretty well explained throughout the novel, and the author, through one of the characters, has some pretty interesting things to say on gender inequality in the world. In Spell or High Water, the ladies finally get their turn. A wizard convention is being held in Atlantis, which is a city where magical females can be safe, since female magic practitioners throughout the world and across the ages have never really had a very warm welcome for the most part. After the first book, I had sort of expected Atlantis to be pretty awesome, but then it wasn't. It was full of a bunch of self-absorbed women who had created a society in which the sorceresses were the source of all the power, and they were waited on by, really attractive men in not very much clothing. While I enjoyed the sort of focus that brought on to the problem of gender inequality and how to reach actual equality, I was still kind of disappointed. But then so were the characters. This book also involved one of my least favorite parts of time travel, paradoxes. It had been explained away fairly well in the first novel, but in the second one, this one, it was overbearing and obnoxious. Truth be told, this novel was a lot flatter and less exciting than the first one, but still definitely enjoyable. So I recommend this series for anybody who's a little geeky and is into gaming and nerdiness and likes fantasy and boyish humor. I really enjoyed reading these. They weren't anything crazy, phenomenal, or thought-provoking, but they were a lot of fun to read. The final book for today is The Builder by P.S. Power. So in this, Tor Baker is just your average country boy trying, his best to make it through school, except for the part where he's a genius or an idiot savant. It's kind of hard to tell. He's a good-natured guy with an extremely low sense of self-worth who's invented a string of incredibly useful magic items that have brought him to the attention of some really important people. The good thing about this book is how normal Tor is, and the whole book itself is very slice of life. There's not really a big plot. It's just a lot of information and world building, I think. Also, the magic system itself is really well developed, and I think that's it, actually. The bad things about this book are that breathlessness quality and the stream of consciousness sort of writing this book is written in, and it makes it difficult to read. Also, Tor's low self-esteem is really extremely low. I have a really hard time identifying with him, and I don't like it. And also one of my pet peeves, his improbable ability to do amazing things on little to no sleep. Why? I don't understand. Those, among other things, like poor plot points, bad grammar, and juvenile dialogue. So finally, I would have a hard time recommending this book to anyone unless you really like exploring magic systems, in which case you might have fun with this one. So, Off to Be the Wizard, 2013, and Speller Highwater, 2014, by Scott Meyer, and I hope maybe we'll get another one out in 2015. Even though I was sort of disappointed by the second book, I really want to read the next in the set series, so we'll see what happens. P.S. Powers the Builder, don't recommend it. If you really like it though, there are 13 of them, so you know, maybe. If you liked P.S. Powers the Builder, please let me know. I've heard some pretty disturbing things about what comes later in the series, which makes me even less inclined to pick it up, but if you love it, please tell me why.